Good evening and welcome back to Sports Talk ATL. I am Chase Earl, joined by Alex Lord. Thank you guys for joining us on this Thursday evening. We had a big trade involving the Celtics, Wizards, and Grizzlies late Wednesday night. Adrian Wojnarowski reports Kristaps is indeed, after originally a three-team deal fell through involving Malcolm Brogdon and a couple other teams. But this trade is Kristaps. The Celtics also get 2 first-round picks. All they trade away is Marcus Smart. The Wizards land Tyus Jones. This is clearly just a cost-cutting measure for them. They're trying to gut their roster. They've let Kyle Kuzma basically walk. He's now a free agent. Kristaps is gone. Now Bradley Beal's gone. They basically traded Porzingis, Porzingis has probably underachieved compared to expectations since he was with the Knicks and started off so hot. He was really good last year for the Wizards. He's not something I think you just trade in a total salary dump, and they basically get nothing for him. While the Celtics somehow come away with Porzingis, the best player, and 2 first-round picks. Pretty amazing. The Grizzlies get Marcus Smart. I think it fits their identity. They want to play like hard-nosed, tough basketball. I kind of like the trade for the Grizzlies because they're giving away 2 late first-round picks. And Tyus Jones, I think they upgrade. I think the only loser here is the Wizards, and it's really not even just this trade. It's like when you think about the Bradley Beal trade, how do you give away Porzingis and Beal and get back Tyus Jones and a couple second-round picks? It's mind-boggling. Like, these trades wouldn't even go through on 2K.
Yeah, I said it at the time of the Bradley Beal trade, and this is how bad teams stay bad. Now, I don't love it for the Wizards at all, but I'm going to push back on Tyus Jones. Tyus Jones is going to have a full-time role in Washington, and he's a guy who can go out there and get you 18 and 8. He's underrated. You just watch. He'll have a very good year for the Wizards. And then they'll be able to flip him. They'll be able to flip him at the deadline for more. But then again, let me just say, and also I'll push back on Kristaps Porzingis. Yes, he had a great year last year. So did Kyle Kuzma and Bradley Beal, and they still didn't make the playoffs. I mean, that's, to me, kind of illuminating that maybe Kristaps isn't the best player in this trade and that Marcus Smart is that guy. Let me just say this. Marcus Smart shrank in the postseason. There's no doubt about that. But let's not forget, this guy still is one of the arguably the best on-ball defender in the NBA. He brings a lot of edge, just like you said. The Grizzlies want to play that tough physical mentality. First of all, also, side note, let me just talk about Dillon Brooks and Marcus Smart on the same court is going to be unbearable.
He's not going to be back. They're not bringing him back. They already said they're not bringing him back.
Okay, well, maybe okay. That is a hilarious thought to have those two guys.
This is basically the Dillon Brooks fill-in, Marcus Smart, which I think is an upgrade.
Well, I like the move. Dillon Brooks is not the ball handler Marcus Smart is, but I get your point.
I'm just saying they're going to play the same position. Like that's what they do. Like he's gonna play next to Ja Morant, just like Dillon Brooks played next to Ja Morant. He's gonna guard the best perimeter player, just like Dillon Brooks was supposed to guard the best perimeter player when he was there. I like this trade for the Grizzlies. I think you can make an argument that Marcus Smart brings more value than Kristaps Porzingis, but you still get 2 first-round picks if you're the Celtics. And I think when you think about what the Celtics have on their roster, they really lack a lot of front court scoring. Al Horford, Robert Williams, they don't bring a lot of scoring. They bring defense and stuff like that. Don't bring a lot of scoring. Even Grant Williams, who will probably now 100% be signed and traded or a free agent or whatever, he won't be on the team next year. So you basically upgraded your front court tremendously. The Celtics have enough ball handlers. Now, another interesting aspect of this is the reason why this comes from Brian Windhorst. The reason why the Brogdon deal fell through the original 3-team trade was that Brogdon apparently has a lingering injury to where I don't think he won't pass any physicals. So he can't be traded to any team. So I wonder if that's a chronic thing that just can't heal up, because if it was just like a one-off injury, he could definitely be dealt. So he's obviously dealing with something more serious than we know about. And if he can't be your point guard, but I mean, you think about all the point guards in there. You have Derek White, Brogdon. You do not need Marcus Smart, especially when you have Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, who can also handle the ball. Now, we know Jaylen Brown can't dribble left, but that's a story for another day. I think the Celtics, but then I look at the Hawks.
You still need a guy to get you into an offense. And you just said it, they have plenty of guys to do that. But Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown cannot do it alone. They have to have somebody to get them into.
Yeah, but they have 3 starting point guards.
Yeah, I just said they do have that, but
or
Jason
Marcus
Tatum
Smart.
and Jaylen Brown are not those.
They had way too many perimeter players and not enough really solid post players. And Porzingis adds that. He can give you buckets on any given night. He's a 20-point a game scorer. He can score on his own. He can step up when guys like Jaylen Brown aren't having their best games. Jason Tatum's not having their best games. I think this is a huge get for the Celtics, who are once again going to be the heavy favorites in the Eastern Conference with this move. But I want to go to the Hawks. Why are these deals coming out where you're trading, like where the Nuggets are trading these guys, and why are the Hawks not in on any of these deals? Like why aren't the Hawks pouncing on Bradley Beal for two second round picks and salary dumps? Because like that's basically what I mean. Literally, Chris Paul is a salary dump that they're gonna buy out. Like why didn't you send John Collins and a couple of crappy players and DeAndre Hunter and two, like clear your books and send them 2 first round picks? Like, why is that not like, why is that like, how? Like, I just don't get it. And now, like, I'm looking at all these deals getting made where the Wizards are getting robbed. They can't get robbed anymore. I mean, seriously, you could go back to last trade deadline, Rui Hachimura. They traded him for like 2 second round picks to the Lakers. Like, the Wizards have just been having a fire sale of giving away their best players for absolutely nothing. They're clearly tanking and hoping for whatever, but I'm sorry, Wembanyama, did I get that right? He is not in the next draft, buddy. Like that, if you're tanking for something that's not even a proven commodity. But I look at this and I'm thinking, what are the Hawks going to end up doing? We're going to probably salary dump John Collins for nothing, maybe even attach a pick to him. We're probably going to trade Clint Capella for a future first round pick or some crap. We're not going to upgrade the roster at all. And listen, I'm just being pessimistic here, but I just wonder how teams like the Celtics, teams like the Suns, teams with good players like this can just go fleece other teams. Like, it's like the NBA to me almost isn't even real. Like, I don't even believe like these. It's almost like the NBA is pulling the strings. It's like, oh, we want the Celtics to be good. You do the trade. We want the Suns to be good. They have Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. Go do that trade with Bradley Beal. Because like these don't even look like real trades. And I'm like, if these were just available for the Hawks, why are they not doing it? Why are they not doing it?
That's a good point. I was just, before you said that, I was going to say, it just seems like Adam Silver's got, somebody by the arm and he's just pinching them right behind the arm and be like, no, dude, that's the one you're doing. And it does feel like that. It's why bad teams stay bad. That's why I said that. I guess I can kind of talk myself into, Travis Slink, he's in the Wizards front office now, has been a maestro in the draft. And so they're stockpiling those
aspect of it. Like
they're stockpiling draft picks. Well, he's stockpiling draft picks. I don't think he's not the GM, so he's definitely not the head guy in that front office. But he's definitely a part.
Didn't he get hired as president of basketball operations? He's bigger than the GM.
I don't think so.
He is definitely the one. He is part of calling these shots without a doubt.
Senior vice.
I mean, he is
Michael Winger is the president of basketball operations, and he's a vice president of player personnel. See, he's not the guy signing off on this, but he will have a prominent role in what he was good at, which is drafting.
It was definitely a part of it. I mean, there's no coincidence that he enters that front office and this happens at the same time. And I'm sure, like, yes, he didn't make the final decision, but he
maybe that's why.
But he also that's why though. Listen, I can tell you, Travis Schlenk didn't just go from a place where he was getting bullied by the owner and then didn't know what he was getting into. Like this was pitched to him as
right. I mean, maybe that's why the Hawks, he goes over to the Wizards and he's like, we are not dealing with them. If we, I come here, I sign on, we are not dealing with them. Listen, the wrestlers drove him out of town. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The ownership spoiled that. And listen, the jury's still out on Landry Fields, Kyle Korver, and Quinn Snyder. I do not believe the reports that Quinn Snyder has no personnel decision-making power. That is just such a fabrication. When have you seen the Atlanta Hawks let their guys do their job? Where, Quinn's the head coach, under
Landry, the wrestlers, never.
Yeah, so never. So why would I believe it now? Now everybody's doing their job. No.
I think that's a good point that Schlenk probably did say. I mean, I think a lot of this business and these sports are about relationships and stuff like that. and it's an underrated part. Having good relationships and trades and stuff can help you out in the future. So keeping those good relationships. And that's why a lot of GMs don't want a ton of one-sided trades. Like, they don't want to go fleece other GMs. Like, these guys, it's like a fraternity, just like the players are a fraternity. These GMs are a fraternity. They want trades to work out for both sides because they want to go back in the future and have those opportunities to trade. With Alex Anthopoulos going and fleecing the A's every year, you think the A's, after getting fleeced twice in a row, are going back to, are eager to be like, hey, Alex, like, you got this guy over here. You want to send me a couple prospects that'll never make it to the majors? Yeah, no, they're like those. They don't want deals like that to happen. So, and I think that's a great point. I think Travis Schlenk definitely probably went over to the Wizards, and maybe if there were any conversations between the Wizards and Hawks, it would probably a moot point. They probably didn't even pick up the phone. They're like, we're not helping you out. We have no business. We don't want to help you out. What you did to me was ridiculous. We can send these guys to Boston. Good luck trying to beat them. And I really do. Like, of all the points you made in this whole segment, I think that's the best one because it's something that I didn't even think about. I think it's something that I didn't even think about, and it's true. And I definitely think why, but still, I mean, it kind of just pisses you off because, like, the NBA does have this thing where the same teams where other superstars, they just seem to be able to get another superstar when nothing on their cap sheet. Like, we talk about the Hawks cap sheet all the time. Oh, we got this, we got to do this. Nothing on the cap sheet said that the Suns should be able to trade for Bradley Beal. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Nothing on the Celtics said, hey, they should be able to bring in a $35 million player and Kristaps Porzingis. And you're telling me the Hawks can't maneuver this thing? No, they can. Either no one wants to trade him there, the NBA doesn't want it to happen. The whole thing is just like, when is something good going to happen to this organization? Please, please. Coming up after the break, we're going to do some Hawks predictions. And guess what? They're not going to be good.